There are definitely worse views to wake up to in the morning.
Hey, we're Bree and Jeff. If you haven't been following the channel so far, we quit our jobs in June of 2022 to go travel the world, and right now we are in Austria. We wanted to share with you our absolute favorite day trips from Austria so far.
So the first day trip we took was somewhere local to Austria. It was a quick, easy train, boat, or bus ride from Salzburg, and it is one of the most beautiful places that we've ever been to, and online it receives all sorts of recognition for how romantic it is. So we did the best thing that we could think of, and we brought our +1 Ben.
And that town is Hallstatt. Hallstatt's a pretty common day trip from Salzburg, so that's where we set off from. You can take either the bus or the train. The bus takes you directly to Hallstatt from Salzburg. We tried to take the bus, but we actually missed ours, so we decided to take the train. Just be aware that if you take the train, it's 2 different trains, so you have to get off one and then hop on the other. The train journey itself took about 3 hours or so, but it was actually worth the view, so we're glad that we took the train. There are also a lot of really pretty stops along the way where you can hop off and take photos if you want, or you can stay in those cities while you're en route to Hallstatt. Once you arrive in Hallstatt, you don't actually arrive in Hallstatt. You have to get off the train to get on a ferry. Make sure you bring cash for this part because it was about 2.5 euros per person. The journey across the lake takes about 20 to 25 minutes. Make sure you're checking weather conditions as well if you're planning to do this day trip. We arrived when it was a little rainy and cold, and it made it so much better. Because we had already spent time in Salzburg, we had no interest in going back, so we decided to stay in Hallstatt for the night, but do keep in mind that you can use Hallstatt as just a day trip. We just wanted to stay here for one night so we could see it in the morning as well. We also really wanted to wake up to this view in the next morning. As for the time that you're actually out and about in the town, there's not too much to do, but we decided to swim in the lake, which was just a little bit cold. You can also grab drinks and bring them to the lake with you. The lake wasn't very busy right now, obviously, because it was cold and rainy, but that's why we went. If you're feeling brave, don't forget to order your drinks in German, or at least try to. 3 Glasen Gin Tonic. Other than that, just explore the city and enjoy the time around the old churches. They're so beautiful. And bring a rain jacket if you're planning on going when it's a little rainy, so you don't end up like me. We were actually sad to have only spent one night here, but we have plans to go back, so no problem. The next day trip we did from Austria wasn't actually in Austria, but it still counts. It's actually a new country, and we went to Bratislava. Depending upon where you're staying in Vienna, you may have to take the metro to the port, where you're gonna hop on a ferry. By the way, the ferry is about 36 euros a person, so it's definitely not the most economic for a traveler. But it does get you there relatively quick with a 1.5-hour trip. Once you've actually arrived in Bratislava, there's not a ton to do, so what we did is we mostly walked around the city and enjoyed the sights, and more importantly, we decided to hop on scooters. By the way, you can get a day pass on these scooters for just 14 euros per person. Beware of the cobblestones, they hurt your knees. It does level out a bit in some spots, but it does eventually go back to cobblestone. We went and checked out the Bratislava castle but didn't go in. We mostly just checked out the architecture around the city, which was dramatic and beautiful on such a great day. There are also these cute little statues everywhere. When you've had enough of sightseeing and people watching, make sure you save room for lunch here. We went to a traditional Slovakian restaurant and I got the shepherd's pan. No joke, this was some of the best food I've ever had in my life. Jeff and Ben opted for gnocchi and pierogies, which were both excellent as well, but I think we all agreed that I had the best plate by far. Overall, I'd recommend no more than 4 to 5 hours in Bratislava. That should be more than enough time to get around and see the sights. And then we decided to hit the metro to go back to Vienna instead of the ferry because it was way cheaper and the ferry was mostly for novelty anyway. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got a lot out of it. And just out of curiosity, on 3, say your favorite day trip out of the 2. 1, 2, 3.
Hallstatt.
Well, there you have it. You're gonna have to go.
Yeah, no real competition. Hallstatt really blew us away. However, I will say that Bratislava is incredible in its own right. We really love Slovakia, even though we were only there for a short period of time. And we often joke that it was the best part of Vienna. No offense to anyone from Vienna. But definitely check both out if you're in the area, and feel free to reach out to us with any questions. Feel free to tell us your favorite day trip in the comments below, and we'll see you at the next episode.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.